Hi there, you're watching the Gardens and Graveyards channel. My name is Charisma and today we are meeting in the garden and we're going to do a beginning of April garden tour. There's lots of bulbs in bloom and it's feeling like spring around here. So here we go. Lots of lawn daisies, which I absolutely adore this time of year. I'll take lawn daisies all day long. Lots of growth. Let's see, there's our azalea. She's almost completely bloomed out, but there's some patches that are just budded up and ready to go still, but nice thick lush bloom on that plant. We still have hellebores blooming and our bluebells have started to bloom as well. We have lilies pushing up and some violas blooming. We still have muscari or the grape hyacinths blooming. The daylilies are all flushed out. They'll start blooming in a month or so. The pieris looks really amazing with all of the new growth on there. Of course, the Edgeworthia is still hanging on to its blooms. It's been months and months now. It's lost the yellow pollen. They are starting to, fall, but still looking pretty good. Backing up a little bit, our Iberis or Candy Tuft have flushed out again and giving us all kinds of white blooms with the grape hyacinths in front. Love it. We have this basket of blooms starting up. These daffodils started blooming. I'm super excited about these. Look at this. It has this bloom and it has this double petaled bloom, and this is one stalk. The different types of bloom on one stalk. It's amazing. We've got a tulip starting up here. We've got a little narcissus right there. The weeping river maple has leafed out. A giant bumblebee right there. Of course, you could see all the Lithidora, the checkerboard flowers are starting to fade, but they're still giving us a little joy. I absolutely adore these tulip groupings this year. They're just so fun and full of color. And then we've got those tulips in the back, which came out very pink and they're fading, I guess, if fading is what you would call it. They're getting deeper and richer red, which is really fun. We had some in the backyard that do that as well. They contrast against this plant so well. Of course, we've got more Lithidora blooming there. Good sized patch of muscari right here. The cherry is just about done blooming. It still has a little bit of sparkle on there. Let's keep going this way. The Canomeles looks amazing. You can see this shrub blooms on old growth because all the blooms are down here and then the new growth canopy is all up here. So this is stuff that grew last year, and so it's new. Next year, this whole stem will be full of the red flowers. Just interesting observation there. This is one of my favorite tulip combinations with the Queen of Nights and the Sunset Roses. The Curia japonica is the best flush that we've had on that plant so far. The flowers are starting to fade though. They're gonna come off pretty soon, but it's been a pleasure to have in the garden. You could see this pink group of tulips. The first ones are this light pink that is really tall, and they're done. So I could come and cut those back. But then we have these darker pink ones starting to bloom now, which is really fun. Then we have a parrot tulip that I planted a few years ago. It decided to pop up and bloom this year. It's right here. It's a little weak for a parrot tulip, but still fun to have in the garden. The barberry has started to push new growth, and it has an insignificant bloom, but it's got flowers on it. Okay, let's cruise down here. Those light pink tulips are holding up just a little bit more, but they're the same as the ones down there. And trying to think of what else. Oh, the columbine. The columbine is all up, looking beautiful. There's lots of buds everywhere. These ones are in bloom because we just recently planted them, and they came from a greenhouse, so they're blooming a little ahead of their time. We still have a little bit of bloom on the heather, and of course more lawn daisies, and then our forsythia is in full bloom, which is so beautiful. Up here we go. And it's finally big enough now that I'm confident that I can remove this old dead stag tree back behind it and let this fill in that space. Pampas grass looks really good. It's all coming back. Let's go ahead and head downstairs and see what's going on down there. The foxgloves are coming up. They're getting big. Of course, they're not blooming yet, but they're there. This garden, nothing's really blooming. Oh, I know, the primroses are blooming all in here. It's been a couple of months of just bloom, bloom, bloom. All the different colors are represented. Pink, white, red, burgundy, magenta, purple, blue, light purple, yellow, and then our skunk cabbage is blooming there, and we'll see a little bit more of a representation of those pretty soon. And then you can see all of our lilies are coming up back there. I'm not seeing any color cracking on these rhodies just yet. We do have a trillium in bloom. Just one right here. Isn't she just adorable? Such a blessing to have her on the property. Oh, look at that. That new rhodie for this year has a bunch of big buds on it. That's exciting. Oh, the Solomon seal is coming up here. Of course, we've got lots of horsetail coming up everywhere. We've got a little hosta coming up in the pot. More Solomon seal right here. Hosta's coming up over there. That's when I know it's spring, when the hostas start popping up out of the ground. There's more hostas all in there. The gunnera has some leaves on it again. Just gonna pop down by the creek and I'll show you our skunk cabbage, which is a native in our area. But what I really love is they're just naturalized. They're like almost perfectly placed along the creek as if someone planted them exactly how far apart they want to be planted. It's pretty fun. Looks like we have a little bit of stagnation right there. I need to clear it out a little bit. There's more skunk cabbage down there. The willow leafed out. The plum leafed out. I'm gonna skip that area because there's not anything going on. We'll just walk through here. And we've got new growth on the hydrangeas, new growth on the rose.
He's taller than I am.
Huh?
He's taller than I am.
What else? We have bulbs coming up in there. I think those are bluebells, but they're not blooming just yet. This bear's breeches is looking so good.
It is.
Love it. Right. Moving through here. Won't be long before that Weigelia is blooming. The rain tree has new buds on it. These are the old seed pods from last year. Looks kind of messy, but those will be beautiful yellow flowers before long. Japanese maple has new growth. And our magnolia has one bloom. There she is. And you can see the brown spots. It's been blooming for a little bit. That's it. Oh gosh. Okay. Let's check out the backyard. Well, the camellia is, oh look at this, look at our rosemary is in full bloom right now. Sheesh. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. We've got camellia blooming in there, but most of those have faded at this point. The raspberries have tons of growth on them. We've got bluebells growing or blooming back there. Got a cyclamen blooming right there. The rhubarb is catching all the leaves. Well, still hellebores look pretty good in there. The snowdrops have definitely bloomed out, looking really good. And these are the other pink tulips that turned red, and they've got these gorgeous centers. Let's see, this one's a little bit better. Aren't those beautiful? Just a quick peek inside the greenhouse. Everything is growing like crazy, which is super fun. And we have some growth on the cannas coming up that we just planted over here. let's just take a quick look at our lilac and see where she's at, because that should start blooming pretty soon. Yeah, I'm seeing lots of blooms up there. Way up at the tippy top of the shrub. So that is one of the reasons why I don't love that lilac specifically, because even though I've cut it down so far multiple times, it shoots up really tall and blooms way up at the top of the canopy, and I don't get to experience it in the way that I want to, where the lilacs or where the blossoms are really close to my face and I can smell them. I mean, it perfumes the air a little bit, but not in the way that I want to experience it. So I'm still contemplating. We have 2 other lilacs over there that can stay big like that, but in this space, I really am thinking about removing that lilac and putting a white one that stays smaller right there. But that is for another time, and I hope that you enjoyed this early April garden tour here on the Oregon coast. We garden in a zone 9A, a sunset zone 6, and I hope that you're celebrating your life. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.